Well, my name is Melissa Swan. I'm 42 years old. I live currently in Indian Harbour Beach, Florida, with my wife and my small dog. I have been in the tile business now this is my 20th year. So I have basically started, this is my life's work. This is all I'm going to do with my life. This is what I started doing right out of college, and this is probably the most important thing that I'll do with my life. And I really realized that solidly, like in my mid-30s maybe, when you start kind of getting to that age where you start growing up and you start getting more serious about life and start looking at your future long term and things like that. That's when I decided, all right, well, tile is going to be it, because I was working my whole life as a contractor that did a lot of things. Like, no was not my vocabulary. So once I started with tile though, and I really started getting into the technical part of it and started meeting people and started getting I got my CTI pretty much right away. I realized that the clay is in my veins, and it speaks to me on a different level, getting to do this for a living. It's certainly a privilege in a way, because here we are, working in people's homes. I get to work in people's showers. I get to be in the space where they're bathing their children, where they're, aging in place, and they're using the shower and using things that, they're able to be autonomous because of the fact that I was able to make it a curbless shower, or make it a spot where they can bring their walker in. Things like that are really important to someone's life. Like, I get to be the person that makes that creates that space, and put my heart and soul, it goes into everyone. Every single project I have, I always say they're like my kids, because I can remember every single one. I remember the people, I remember even the bad experiences. They go away really quickly, and I still remember, the privilege of being in that space and being in someone's home. And you meet people on their most vulnerable place, and they trust you with a huge investment, the biggest investment they'll make in their life, and the biggest space that they'll have, the place where you get ready, where you shower, where you get ready for your day, where you decompress from your day. These types of things that I take very seriously. It's a big deal to me. And the thing that's the best part about this job is that you have that sense of completion for everyone. You have a start and a finish. So when you have a typical job, as in like an office job, where you go in and you kind of constantly have work, it just never stops, right? You clear your email box, and then there's 27 more emails right away. So there's just that, it feels like that revolving door. Well, I've got this definitive start and this definitive end, and it's very satisfying to be able to look and say, well, this is done, and walk away and start another project. It gives you that break in between. So it's very well built for my personality. I'm a firefighter part-time with the Indian Harbour Beach Fire Department. I do, it's a volunteer service right now with Station 56. I just graduated last night with my wildland certification. So yeah, I'm sure I'm ready to fight forest fires. It's the whole reason I joined the industry and joined the fire service, was so that I could fight forest fires, and now I'm on track. So that was really exciting. That part is done, and I'm ready to move on there. But the fire service is a whole different, just a part-time thing. And so, but it really fulfills a lot of, it's got that whole thing too, with the similarities between the fire and the tile is really great, because you've got that camaraderie, right? Like, so in the tile business, I've got this whole family, just complete strangers that I can say, okay, we've got this common, it's almost like a torturous thing, like, it's like you share that pain, because you're doing this job that isn't easy mentally, physically, spiritually. All those things are challenged in your day. And the same with the fire service. It's like, I have this family that I already know, because we're already in the same uniform. We're doing the same thing every day. You are doing this in order to serve your community and be a better person, and to get outside of yourself and be a part of something bigger than yourself. So that part of it is really important to me. That to be part of something bigger than yourself is the whole sense of purpose in my life, and that's what brings me the most happiness, is the fact that I can wake up in the morning and say, well, I have this thing that is really important, that gives me this purpose, that's going to make my mark on this planet for when I'm no longer here. So that is the part really that is the most fulfilling of this job and of my life in general, truly, is the fact that, like, I live a purpose-driven life, and that I could do it because I do this for a living. And yeah, and to make money at it is crazy. Yeah, it's insane. My life is insane. It truly is. Like, and even just thinking about it now, I have goosebumps, because it's like, I never thought that I would ever be able to have this type of life set up for myself. It's like, it's just so, like, my blessings are infinite, and the good things that come to me feel constant. Like, my blessings seem infinite, and it seems like every day is a day that something awesome happens because of this job or because of this industry or something like that. So just heading here today, I was driving to this to Coverings, and I had to stop on a street called South Patrick, which is on my island, and a duck with all her baby chicks had to cross the street.
Aww.
I swear this duck was waiting because I stopped my car and she was like, took a minute and then brought her babies across the street. Yeah, just because I decided to go to Coverings at that time. I would normally be at work. I got to see the babies because of that.
That's
so
great.
yeah. But as far as the NTCA too, I got this opportunity to do that because I became a CTI, and that was a life-changing event. Huge event for me. At the time I was the 8th female in the country to be a CTI. Yeah, so there's only 8. Now I think there's 9. So we're moving slowly. Yeah, exactly. And it's tricky, right, to be a female in this industry, because sometimes, you know, you really have to prove yourself in a way that's different. I think it's starting to change. However, you know, you always have this thing that you're thinking about that, you know, guys do treat you differently no matter what. They may say they don't, but they do. It's just inherently difficult to recognize that. So sometimes guys act that way and they don't realize it. You know, it's unconscious. So therefore, you know, slowly showing up more to these trade events and more females are getting involved, it's really starting to, I think, shift the industry in a way where we're getting rid of that unconscious bias, I think, and we're starting to lean in the direction where it's not as shocking anymore, you know. So it's getting there. Yeah.
And you mentioned, are you an NTCA?
I am a technical trainer. Yes. I'm not employed by the NTCA, but I am a subcontractor, and I love representing them because they are huge in the industry. They've got a lot of sponsors that back us up, and we've got doing the workshops is just like throwing a tile party. So it's a huge party in a lot of ways. People bring food, sometimes there's booze, like you get together, I teach a class that's like an hour long, and then we get into the hands-on, which is great because a lot of people don't have had the time to, you know, learn how to trowel. Some people told me they just learned how to trowel the right way. You know, I troweled things for 13 years before I knew there was a proper way. So you don't know until you know. And then sometimes they'd come to our workshops and we'd meet, and it really changes people's perspective in a lot of ways, because if you don't have anybody to show you, you know, who's going to teach you? No, if you don't have somebody in your life that's like at a higher level of tile and you're out on your own and your bubble is small, it's your responsibility to get out there and learn more and to grow. Some people just don't have time. You know, some people just don't, or they don't have the heart, or they've got too many kids, or whatever it is that's in their thing. What's in your life is sometimes it's too much. So to be able to change lives just in that small capacity and get people on the right track, even just in the door of NTCA, your career just changes. Everything changes with your mindset. Just to know the technical side of it and to realize that this world exists is a whole different. It changes your day. It changes your whole career completely. So.
Great. Well, we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no, thank you.